On today's episode, the boys talk about Southside and all of the crazy stories that happen down there. Even a St. Patrick's Day story. I know, big surprise. Well, let's discuss real talk from real Yinzers. Here we go. Boys in the Burgh, hosted by Chris, JJ, and Andrew Speranza.
Welcome to Boys in the Burgh, the podcast all about Pittsburgh. My name is Andy Speranza, and Chris, why am I starting out today? Well, let's welcome in the boys here. Chris, say hello.
We need variety. So my voice is annoying. I understand. You can only hear it so many times until we have another one of the boys decide to introduce themselves. So yeah,
Chris started his new job today, so he's a little tired. So I'm gonna take the reins on this one here. Chris, good to see you. And who's the other guy here that we have?
Hey, that's me. It's good to see you guys again.
Hey, JJ. And boys, you know what I just realized?
Huh.
We're the boys with glasses.
Ah,
we all wearing glasses today.
We're all wearing glasses today. How about that?
Look at us.
Corporate life, you know.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, boys, we should talk about Southside today. You guys want to talk a little bit about Southside and the bars down there?
No. yeah. I'm excited. JJ and I have a pretty fun story that ironically is not fun at all because St. Patrick's Day, I don't give a shit what you say. It sucks down there.
St. Patrick's Day is definitely an interesting one down there, but I'm excited. I'm excited to hear your story there.
Yeah,
you should be.
I think between the three of us, we're gonna have plenty of stories because I lived down there for about a year. Andy, you were down there all the time whenever you were living in Pittsburgh, and Chris, I assume you just tagged along with Andy and I whenever we were down there doing stuff.
Well, I mean, I got to find a place to get my powder.
Oh God!
Oh God Almighty! We're gonna get into the powder story.
Well, let's start it off right from there.
I'm totally fine with that. All right, I'll take the reins on this story here, just because I was with Trevor when this happened. But let me know if I'm missing any details. But regardless, long story short, this was quite a few years ago. This was.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. We should probably explain what the South Side is.
Very good point. South Side is on the north side of Pittsburgh. No, I'm kidding. South Side is. Southside is a main part of the city of Pittsburgh here. As it's named Southside, it is on the southern part of Pittsburgh there. It's mainly a long road, and it's just filled with bars. That's Carson Street. Carson Street in the south side is just filled with bars. And I believe, I might be making this up, but didn't one of you guys say that there's some sort of fact about Carson Street, that it's like the longest street that has all these bars or something like that? Or am I making that up?
It's considered the what's the one down in New Orleans? Bourbon Street. It's considered the Bourbon Street of basically like Pennsylvania and the northern part of the country, just because like there's no other place like it. I think that's really cool that we're considered like a Bourbon Street kind of place.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the place to go if you want to go out. Well, it used to be the place to go to if you want to go out and drink. It's not the best place anymore, but that's where we would go. Where we were in our college days, would go and hit the bars and do some drinking, and
some stankin'.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but primarily, isn't this more of like I know it's more of like a college area, but Duquesne University, that seems to be where most of the people go to college that go down there or live down there. And in my mind, I'm not very good with geography because obviously I don't know where to park for Penguin games. But where is Duquesne in relation to Southside, or as the people of Pittsburgh call it, Southside?
Southside. Well, Duquesne University is in pretty much, I don't want to say the heart of downtown Pittsburgh, but it is connected very close to the very part of downtown. Okay, now for people in Pittsburgh, the river that separates where Duquesne is, or downtown. The river that separates that from the south side is the Monongahela River. So you have Duquesne on the northern part of the Mon, and then south side is on the southern part. So you got to cross a bridge to get from one of those places to the other. But that's where it is. It's Duquesne's in mainly downtown, and south side is on the other part of the river.
Ah, okay. So one of those very safe Pittsburgh bridges to cross just to the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't mean to cut you off, but I know we needed to figure out what the South Side is before we get to one of the downsides of going to the South Side, which involves something not snow, but something very white and powdery.
Yeah. There's some powder down there. Well, long story short, this was quite a few years ago. We decided that myself, my co-host Chris, his wife Carissa, and our good friend Trevor, we decided we would go down to the south side for a little night of drinking, down at the bars. So we went down there on one Saturday, and we went to a couple bars, and fun night overall. But we came to a bar called 12, and
Oh,
that
I
should
thought
be
it was
the
Mario's.
no. Well, believe me, I don't forget this story here. It was called 12.
Okay, Mario's is classier because we were meeting with Carissa's co-workers, and the one woman was like completely like whatever young phrase you want to use. She was blitzed, blitzed like blitzen, right?
I'm sorry, what?
I'm
She
trying
was
to
what?
I'm trying to understand the young kid lingo. You know what I mean?
I don't even think the young kids say blitzed. Well, anyway, long story short, we went to a bar called 12. We were going to go meet up with, your friends and Chris's friends at this bar called 12. They were all hanging out there. So we all walk in. We show the bouncer our ID. We all get in, no problems there. We get a drink at the bar. We're all hanging out. You and Carissa go off to talk to your friends. So me and Trevor, again, this Trevor is one of our good friends here. Trevor and I are at, we're off at the side. We're, hanging out on, standing against one of the walls, whatever, just talking. Some gentleman comes up behind Trevor, and Chris, would you like to do the honors? What does he say to Trevor?
Well, I am the impersonating man.
That's
so
true. This is
I
all
will
you.
do it. I will do it. So Trevor's just standing there. Trevor is a very extra man. Uh,
I hope he's
to
listening to
put
this.
it in to put it in perspective for people who don't know who Trevor is, which you probably don't because he's our friend. And so what happened was Trevor was just chilling out at the bar drinking, and a gentleman comes behind him. He's just like, "Hey man, I got that powder if you want some." Like not even like, "Hi, how you doing?" Like, with this new job I'm learning how to talk to people and like, how to ask open-ended questions. I don't think the correct open-ended question to ask was, "Hey, I got that powder. Do you want some?"
Yes, that at that very moment, our good friend Trevor was offered cocaine, and that is the moment that we left 12 and we went out
Whoa,
onto
whoa, whoa,
the
whoa, whoa! That's the
yes.
gotta say the funniest part of that whole thing.
Yes, there is the funniest part. JJ, you know what? I did my I did my drug dealer impersonation, and you can do the Trevor impersonation because
You're right. I
as
do
you said,
apologize. I did miss this part. Go ahead, JJ. You say
I
it.
wasn't there. I just heard it from you guys. So you guys got to do this.
I just got offered cocaine. He's screaming it in the streets, just like, I got offered cocaine.
Well, that's whenever we walked outside, but I thought you were talking about what he said in response to this guy, because I thought,
Yeah.
and correct me if I'm wrong, I thought he was saying like he gave the nerdiest response. No, thank you.
He said,
No, thank
"Okay,
you,
now
young
this
man.
is what Trevor told me. He said that he looked over to you guys. He said to the guy, "No, thank you. I'm okay." And turned around, and looked at you guys, and went, "We need to get the fuck out of here."
That's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened. We had our first our first drug offer in the South Side. And yes, and then we went outside onto Carson Street. And Chris, what did he scream?
Yep. Do I have to do it again?
Mm-hmm.
I was offered cocaine. But now that we talked about just one bar, I do want to talk about how many bars can we name off the top of our head in Carson Street? Because I don't think people have the right idea yet that it's not just like 1, 2, 3 bars. It is like a lineup of all the different kind of bars you could think of. Rich bars, poor bars, bars that only take cash. Like there's all kinds of bars everywhere. Like all the way from the Tiki Lounge all the way down to 12. Like
There are 80.
8? No,
Jesus.
there isn't.
There are 80 or more in Southside right now.
No, there
I wasn't
isn't.
even aware of that. That's insane.
You're the fun facts guy. What else do you got?
Well, I just read this recently. So it was considered often considered to be one of the highest collection of bars per capita in the country, which makes sense because, as you guys know, Southside's what, a mile long, if not maybe a little more, like of all the bars. Think of that, 80 bars in that little 1 mile radius.
I mean, they jam them together real tight there. I mean, you see like little doors hidden between different bars and different stores like that are actually, they lead to another bar there. So, um, I am shocked by that, but I'm not surprised. You know what I mean? Just because of how tight they packed everything together.
But the best part for me is the food. There are so many good places to get food down there too. Like during the day, it's still a fun place to go to. I'm sorry, I cut you off, Chris. Go right ahead.
No. I was just about to say like how we want the direction of the rest of this episode to go. Like, do we want to talk about the particular bars and their gimmicks, or do we want to talk about the one bar we went to called Urban Tap that had delicious smelling cauliflower wings?
Oh god. I respect anybody that can eat cauliflower wings because as much as I enjoy licking my own feet, I just can't do it,
man. For real, like these people, like first of all, St. Patrick's Day, we all know the weather. So if you're not from Pittsburgh, it was like 10 degrees, snowed, and was windy. I'm 29. JJ, you're 30. Andy, you're 26, 25?
26.
26. Okay, so 26, you're starting to like get it. Like 21 through 25 were like wearing short sleeve shirts and like freezing their asses off. I'm like, who are you proving to?
Yeah, I mean, you have these people that they go out and I must be getting old, like you're saying here. I must be getting old because I see these people going out in shorts and short sleeve shirts, in 10-degree weather, and it's just like you hit the nail on the head, Chris. It's like, what are you trying to prove? Who are you trying to impress?
Oh my god! So this has nothing to do with Southside, but there was a TikTok I did send you guys. That was, I guess this couple was arguing on St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, I saw that.
But the video like starts at the girl like screaming on ah, and the guy like ran head first into like a glass wall, and then he goes, "You're not listening to me." Like, I mean, come on, boys! Like we've been in that argument with our significant others before, where we didn't do it, but this guy was drunk enough to do it. Drunk enough to just run headfirst into a wall.
You'll find some of those people down at Southside.
Oh yeah.
So, but actually shatter through the wall.
Exactly.
I do want to get back to why cauliflower wings are considered delicious.
Why?
I will give Urban Tap this. They had a delicious burger.
They did.
Yeah. Anytime someone asks me, how do you want it cooked? I'm like, all right, I'm in for a good time. Like, this isn't this isn't Eaton Park where you're getting like a flat patty. Like this is like you're getting some good ass food for like. I think the burger was like $10. That's not that bad.
Not bad at all.
No, the prices were great. The food was great. The drinks were really tasty. And well, I didn't drink that much. I had like maybe a few because I was driving. But
You
from
didn't
what
do
it
any
looked like,
drinking?
I wasn't drinking. I was driving.
JJ, there's nothing more thrilling than driving down the street and knowing if you're going to get home safe. Or never mind, I'm not going to finish.
Cancel Chris. Cancel Chris.
No, I can't finish it. I won't. At first, I was going to push through the joke. If you want to hear the finish of the joke, just DM me.
He has a candle.
But the food was delicious. Not going to lie. But is there any other places with delicious food that sticks out to your guys' mind?
I'm gonna say 3 restaurants down there, and I want you guys to tell me which one. If you were like, "Oh man, I'm going down there. I gotta eat there," and let me know what you guys think. Okay, are you ready?
Okay. Yeah.
Fathead Saloon with sandwiches as big as your head, Double Wide Grill, or Permane Brothers.
Fatheads.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Fatheads too because
Yeah,
I feel
same
like
here.
Permanis you can like you can go anywhere for that. You know what I mean?
I've never been to Double Wide Grill. I've only been to the one that was in North Huntington, and they closed down because like I went in there and it was like after 30 minutes waiting for someone to realize I'm a human. Hi, can I serve you? It's like I need a table. But yeah, I pick Fatheads 100%. Permane Brothers, we discussed this, the best ones in the Strip District.
Yeah.
And not shitting on that one, just saying truths. And yeah, Double Wide Grill, I don't think I've ever been there. So yeah. So yeah, Fatheads wins for me.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever been to the? I think it's called Steel Cactus. It's like a Mexican restaurant. It's closer on the like closer to the waterfront Homestead side.
I've never been there, but Katie went there for the bachelorette party for our wedding, right? Katie was down there with like Carissa and Christy and like the whole family basically, because they have that like rooftop bar, right?
Right. Exactly.
Well, isn't there
my bachelor party?
Well, isn't there one in PNC Park?
Steel Cactus. I don't think
What's the research?
I don't know. Yeah, we'll have to look that up.
Hold on, I got this. Pull that up, Scotty.
Yep. JJ will fact check us. But but Andy, have you tried the burgers there?
At Fatheads?
Yeah.
I actually have not. I have not, but I've heard good things.
Steel Cactus is at the airport and South Side.
And
they're permanently closed on the South Side.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I haven't been down to the South Side forever.
Oh, well, luckily we were just there and had one of the strangest St. Patrick's Day encounters we've ever had.
That was so weird. That was so weird.
It was weird. And you know what? People are wondering, why was it weird? And
Tell us the story. Fill us in.
And I think JJ knows why it was such a weird situation.
It was El Nino.
El Nino.
I have a candle.
Oh, I thought we were talking about two different things.
Oh, what were we talking about?
I was thinking of the Muñeño guy on TikTok. I forgot about the song I made up when JJ and I were finding parking. I made up a song for there's a part in Encanto, like in the first song where like Mirabel's like introducing the family and like the grandma comes out and starts singing. I don't know why. I just kept saying like, my name's Abuela. I have a family. I have a candle. It burns brightly.
He did that the entire night, and it never got old for me. I laughed every single time. I don't know why. It was so funny.
I do want you to talk about your St. Patrick's Day experience, but there's a white family on TikTok that did all the songs for Encanto.
Yeah.
But it's so funny because like the one kid sings it and he goes, "Welcome to the family, Madrigal."
I whitewashed it. No.
And everyone's just like, the family mayonnaise. Oh shit! I'm sorry. All right, St. Patrick's. Speaking of white people and Irish, St. Patrick's Day and the
I
celebration.
don't even think we realized that we were going down the day of the parade, which is so weird because I always thought, oh, the parade's today, which means after it ends, there's going to be hordes of people just sprinting over to the south side. And we got down there, found parking really easily right next to our bar. That
What?
you don't think so?
Don't you dare say very easily. You like made a U-turn going up like Mount Washington. Like,
Oh, I forgot I almost got us killed. Andy, I was trying to like stay calm and drive and get through traffic, and every time, like, because we were singing that Abuela songs, every time someone would like cut me off or I'd have to turn, I'd look at Chris and go, "My name's Abuela."
It can be stressful driving down there, especially whenever you have all these drunk people walking around. So I don't blame you at all.
Okay, regularly on a Saturday night, you can park on Carson Street, and Carson Street's the main drag of the like where all the bars are at. But
Right.
for St. Patrick's Day, you can't park on Carson Street. They close that all down, and you have to park on the side roads. So I don't know how we found this spot. We found it right next to the Urban Tap, though, and which was awesome. Urban Tap was great. Where did we end up walking down to from there?
we walked. It was like,
Right?
there's 80 of them. I don't know. Well, we walked. So we signed up for a thing called bar crawlers, which is like a company that works with other bars. So if you pay whatever $50 for a ticket, you get a nice little wristband that says, "Hey, I don't have to pay a cover charge. Just let me in."
Yeah.
There was like 6 bars on this list.
Yeah, and they were decent bars.
Yeah, and apparently at the last second, 5 of the bars pulled out and said, "We're not doing this." And only one bar did it, and it's the place we stayed the whole night called Urban Tap. So, I appreciate Urban Tap's integrity to stick with it. So,
and it was like
yes.
we would walk up and go, "Hey, here's our wristbands. We're with the bar crawls," and they'd be like, "Hey, $10." It's like, no,
we're like, "That's great, pay us."
Exactly, we're with the group. He's like, we're not doing that anymore. It's like, what? So we ended up walking, like we kept going to different bars, ended up at Casey's, which I have an awesome story about later in our podcast here. And we stood on the second floor of Casey's. Chris and I stood in their dance party room by ourselves with all the disco lights and all the music and everything, and looked at each other and went, this is like Twilight Zone. What the hell is going on here?
Well, so we're standing there and we're like, this is the only bar that doesn't offer a cover charge. Thank God. And we go in there and they're like, we take cash only. It's like, God damn it. Like, I can't win.
That seems like they really shit the bed on that setup, on that organization there. That seems like the hell happened, you know?
But Andy, so what is the most Pittsburgh thing possible that we did after we left the South Side?
You went to Permanis.
Second best thing.
Sheets.
Sheets!
Yes! Our friends at Sheets.
We're back to talking about Sheets. Hey, Sheets, send us more stuff.
Sheets, you're awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, big shout out to Sheets for sending us all the cool merchandise there after we talked about them in our episode in our recording a couple episodes ago. But yeah, that is such a Pittsburgh thing to do, to go to Sheets right after you go drinking, and that's a perfect way to end the night. So I'm very proud of you both.
Which I didn't get you your shirt. I'm sorry, Andy, I didn't get you your shirt yet.
No, that's okay.
Yeah,
guess we have to do a live podcast.
Yeah, we're gonna do a live podcast.
Absolutely.
So JJ, when we went to Sheets, he bought like this seltzer and beer, like Bud Light Platinum. It was so disgusting.
Oh my God, seriously?
It was disgusting because it had like 8% alcohol in it, and it's just like, alcohol has taste. So, and it's not great.
Carissa was like, if this is what beer tasted like all the time, then people would drink it more often.
Oh, she drinks wine all the time. I drink. I
Anyway,
drink the Burgh.
do you guys want to hear my funny 21st birthday story about Casey's?
Yep.
I would, but I do want to ask you guys something first, real quickly.
Oh,
I
yeah,
will
yeah,
get
yeah.
back to that. Parking on Carson on a typical day. I want to know what you guys do because I don't go. When I do go down there, I know the last time I went down there to like park, I just went to visit a friend, and my strategy in my head was always pick the furthest back road that I could think of where it's free parking, and then just walk to Carson from there. What is your guys' opinion?
So I have this for whether it's uh, 11 a.m. on a Thursday or if it's 9:30 at night on a Saturday. I have there's a parking lot right behind Tiki Lounge, which we got to take a couple seconds to talk about Tiki Lounge here in a second. But
Yes.
there's a parking lot behind Tiki Lounge that is just massive, and it's one of those. It's one of the ones that have the meters with the quarters, so you don't have to go up to any machine and put in like a debit card or a couple dollar bills or anything like that. It's the meter with the quarters, and I think it's free parking after a certain time on the weekends.
It is.
Okay, so like if you go down there, let's say you leave the house at 9 o'clock on Saturday, you get down there at 9:30 or so. I think at like 10 o'clock it becomes free parking. So we'll say, I don't know, we'll say a quarter is like 15 minutes. So like 50 cents, you're parking in that parking lot if you get there at 9:30. So that's my answer. If we're going down to the south side, that's where I'm parking.
Okay, cool. JJ?
Well, so when I was living on the south side of Pittsburgh, I lived on 18th Street, which is typically where I shoot for because the first bar you get to walking up 18th Street is Tiki Lounge, which is
Oh,
one of the best bars there. So, and typically people don't want to park that far down 18th Street. Like if you guys know the south side, it goes from, I think it starts at 18th Street and goes all the way to like First Street. So all like that's block after block after block. So if you want to stay closer to this side of 18th, there's usually better parking. You have to do a little bit of walking, but there's typically always a spot open.
I just looked at pictures of Tiki Lounge because I'll be honest, I've never been in there.
Why? Go ahead.
You're missing out. Let me tell you.
So you guys need to do research. You need to do research on this one bar that's in Disney World called Trader Joe's. No, not Trader Joe's. Shit, I forget what it's called. Go to Trader Joe's. It's such a great Trader Sam's. Sorry. Trader Sam's. And it's like that vibe except on steroids.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Yeah. Like if you order a drink, it like affects the weather in the bar and everything. Like it's wild.
Oh,
but when we all have money, we'll go to Disney.
Sounds like a plan.
That sounds like a good plan. And honestly, Tiki Lounge is very unique. Andy, why don't you go ahead and talk a little bit about it since you brought it up?
Yeah, absolutely. You know what? Let me start this off by saying I'm not a big drinker. I'm not a huge drinker. I've never actually, I've never gone out to any. I've never gone out every weekend. Weekend after weekend after weekend. I've never been much of a drinker there. So me and my friends in college, we would go to the south side like maybe like once a month or so, maybe twice a month, something like that. And let me pause my story here for 1 second. I feel like the further west you go down Carson Street, the more intense the bars are. Okay.
Yes,
so
that's true.
With that said, Tiki Lounge is on sort of like on the east side, closer to Homestead and the waterfront and stuff like that. So we would always go to Tiki Lounge. We would go to the bars down there. There's another one called the Library. I don't know if you guys are ever familiar with that one. Yeah, that's another
Boys with glasses know what's up.
Boys with glasses.
We read books at the library and drink our little cocktails.
The economy.
But no, the reason I like Tiki Lounge so much is because it is more of a laid back bar, but you can still have a lot of fun with that depending on how much you want to drink. And plus, it is so like if you walked in there and you were thinking like It's a Hawaiian bar. That's all I can say. That's all I'm gonna put it at. It's a Hawaiian bar. It smells like chlorine. It has, all the little tiki things or whatever laying around. Uh, very, very fun. Very fun. I love the tiki bar. Very Hawaiian bar.
Like I said, you got to do research on. Got to go to Trader Joe's and get that groceries. No, I'm kidding. Like, no, I'm for real, guys. Like, do research on Trader Sam's. Like, it's ridiculous. I would just go to Disney, not to go to the parks, but just to go to that bar.
Yeah,
You
this
got
is
my-
a nerd
you got
mouse.
my
Okay,
interest.
What?
this is a nerd mouse. Okay, ugh. Shout out nerd mouse.
Shout out to Nerd Mouse. So JJ, I do want to talk about your 21st birthday because apparently they used to have a very special kind of entertainment down at Casey's that doesn't exist anymore.
And he knows.
Oh, I know. Okay, go ahead.
So back when I was turning 21, we were. I didn't know anything about the South Side. I lived down there, but I was 18 when I lived down there, so I didn't know where to go hang out and stuff like that. So my buddy said, "All right, we're going to this bar called Casey's, and Casey's is right next to Fathead Saloon." So anyway, it's Casey's was a great, and it still is a great little bar. But they had this little person. Is that the correct term?
Yes, that's a politically correct term, little person.
They
Yes.
had this little person. I think his name was it was probably like Carson or something like that. But his job was to hop up on the bar and sprint up and down all night, shoving booze and beer and all this stuff down your throat. And he had like a ski with a bunch of shot glasses, and he would like throw them on people and like jump into the crowd and stuff. It was, oh man, it was wild. And I was down there. I was down there and got to see him and got to have a few drinks with them. And it was a really, really fun night. Now, the upstairs, remember the story earlier where Chris and I were standing in that empty disco room just by ourselves?
Yeah.
So that second floor, we were up there playing pool, hanging out, and there was a couch there. And this is important.
Oh no.
So I leave.
That's never good. That's never good when you had furniture and a bar. It either involves sex or feces or piss.
Or someone falling asleep on it.
So we left that night, and someone drove me home because my girlfriend at the time was afraid to drive in Pittsburgh. So my friend drove me home. And it wasn't Katie. I'm very, very, very happy I have Katie in my life. I get a phone call from my friend Alex. He goes, "Dude, the little person died last night." I said, "What?" He had an overdose, and they found him on that couch upstairs that we were sitting on and chilling and talking to him on. I said, "He died on my birthday."
Oh my god.
Are you
Oh wow.
serious? Holy crap. How do you come up with... Why are you always part of these stories?
I don't know. My life is crazy, and that was how my adult life started, by the little person that was the most famous man in the South Side overdosing and dying on my birthday.
Oh my god.
So my favorite part is the sign that's in there. That's probably been there your 21st, so 9 years now. That just says, it doesn't say little person, but it says the other word, wanted. Like they're hiring for another little person.
Oh my god.
Oh man, it's so crazy thinking back, because like Southside was home for me for a while. Like, remember the big blizzard in 2010? I was down there. I saw them.
They don't plow.
What?
They don't plow down there.
Hell no, they don't plow down there.
It's every man for themselves down there. Let me tell you.
I love Southside so much, and it's sad to see what happened since COVID. And they're trying to come back. They really, really are. But like, I don't know. I have a special place in my heart for Southside.
Yeah, because Southside is definitely the definition of like, there is the good part of town and the bad part of town.
And our sister lived down there for a while, didn't she?
That was my next topic about
Oh,
living in the South Side. And I know you've lived in the South Side. Andy's sister has lived in the South Side. Our sister has lived in the South Side with Andy's sister on the South Side. So there's a lot of Speranza heritage, like in that area.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I've always wanted to live down there, and if I could do college over again, I would definitely go to a school that's like closer to downtown. But how was living down there? Let's talk about that for a second, JJ. How was that?
lonely. It was lonely because I always used to tell our parents this. As an 18-year-old, you only have a couple choices, and that is to like go upstairs and get blasted and drink, or as Chris said, blitzed, or go or go downstairs and do drugs. And I was like, I don't want to do any of that right now. I'm 18 years old. I got a lot of stuff to do. So I would just spend my time walking around, and I had about $20 a week to live off of, so I wouldn't eat anywhere. I would just kind of like walk down to the river and walk up and down listening to Wiz Khalifa's new mixtape because that's how old ass I am. Like, it's lonely, but if you're over the age of 21, you have a decent job, and you enjoy going out and meeting up with people, it's the perfect place to live. It really is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I've also heard like some of the same comments about being over 21 and living down there. How it's really fun. I've heard that from my sister, your sister. You know, I've heard that before for sure.
I would spend most of my time with if I had extra money because I lived off of basically $20 a week. Which, if you guys can imagine, try living off $20 a week right now, and that's food, that's gas, that's everything for the week. And I would spend $10 of it on cigars. So that was I was such a dumbass back then.
Understandable. No, that's a smart choice.
But if I saved up enough money, my friends from Robert Morris would take a bus into town, and we would go to Fatheads. And like Fatheads is just, I love that place so much because of that.
Very nice. Very nice.
I do want to chime in and say a story that your sister Lauren says I tell her every single time I see her, and
I know where you're going with this.
it's the one time I think my one friend Nick, he lived in the South Side, and I hung out with him for a night. And I think like Lauren caught wind of it and was just like texting me and was like, "Hey, come to my place." And it's like freezing cold outside. And apparently in the South Side, if it's freezing cold, it doesn't matter at all.
Definitely not.
So I start walking towards where she lives, following it on the GPS, and there's like, I'm not lying, there might have been like 200 people like in this house. And everyone was like dressed into like different countries, and apparently it was like the drunk Olympics.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I walk in, she'll say this every single time, like, why do you say this? Because it's fucking ridiculous. I walk into the house, the railing is gone.
What?
Like they must have been doing like they must have like been sliding down, just like, oh, we're Team Jamaica. Just, like,
oh my god!
Like taking out every single railing, and I will never let her live that down. And that is probably my funniest story.
Nor should you. No, she should. Every time you see her, you should definitely bring that up because that's definitely. I don't know the full details of the parties that my sister has. I don't think I want to know the full details. I mean, just based off that very basic story right there, I don't think I want to know the full stories that goes on. But I understand that she used to have some good parties back in the day.
Now picture this. This was just like a townhome in Southside. That's not big. So, like,
it's not big, no.
But there are big ones down there too.
Oh yeah,
like
they're nice ones.
Absolutely.
It's a very historic town, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely agree. Definitely agree.
Oh.
You know what? She oh god. She had a Steeler that lived like a street over from her, and I don't remember who it was.
Like a criminal? Like a stealer?
No, I'm sorry, Pittsburgh's Pittsburgh Steeler. I'm sorry, a football player.
Oh,
A
sorry,
football
sorry. I was
player.
very
No, no,
confused.
no, no. I'm glad you corrected me. No, no, no. It was a Pittsburgh. It was a football player. It was a Pittsburgh Steeler. I want to say
Yeah,
it
I
was
know
like
what
James.
happened.
What?
Yeah, I know what happened.
I want to say it was like James Harrison or something. I'll have to ask her who it was. But the moral of the story was that when she was living in the South Side, she had a party one time that, and again, I want to stress this. It might not have been James Harrison. It was one of the Steelers. We'll just say it was him for right now. She was having a party one time when she was living down in the South Side. Things were getting a little loud, from what I understand. So apparently, James Harrison walked over to her front door, knocked on it. She answered and was like, he was super nice about it. He was like, "Hey, like, I know you're just having, you're having a party, you're having fun, but it is getting a little loud. So if you guys could just try to like, quiet it down, that'd be really good. I'm trying to sleep." And she'd be like, "Oh yeah, no problem, whatever." She closed the door and she was like, "James Harrison just told me to shut up. This is the best day of my life."
But because it was like Lauren's house, like he went to knock on the door, but like his fingertip like touched it, and the whole door
just came down. The door frame, the parts of the wall with it, like the cartoons. He just tapped on the door and it just fell down. Yeah, that sounds about right.
It could be because it wasn't a secure door, or it could be because it was James Harrison.
Either scenarios are extremely valid.
Let's so to put this in perspective, how far down Carson Street did Lauren live? Was it closer to like the crazy end? I know she was kind of tucked back into the South Side Slopes, which is South Side Slopes is like going up toward the mountain of Mount Washington, and that's where all
You
the
guys keep
residential
talking.
places are.
You guys keep talking. I have my map up here. I'll get that answer in a second.
Could we have Lauren on for an episode to straighten out everything?
Honestly, she would probably enjoy that.
Like I know for me, I lived literally off of Carson Street, so I was right down there in the action. I think her and Christy were kind of tucked away though.
I believe it was 19th Street.
Oh, she was that far down.
I believe it was 19th Street. Yeah.
Oh,
for people who are listening, what is that like a relation to? Like how do you compare that for like me who doesn't know Southside that well?
Next to 18th Street.
Other side's 20th.
Are you being smart with me?
Think of it like each number of the street is a block. So 18th, if you ever hear like the block of 18th and 19th Street or whatever, like that's how Southside is. Each block is named with another number. So whenever he says 18th Street or 19th Street, like she lived like maybe 2 blocks down from where I used to live.
Yeah. Okay. So continuing on with the theme of going down the street and down the bars, what is your by far favorite bar? And you cannot say Tiki.
Damn, why can't I say Tiki? No, just screw your rules. Tiki Lounge is my favorite bar.
Good for you, Andy. Stand up for yourself.
Thank you. I'll give alternates though. I do like the library. We got to, we can't forget about Mario's.
Urban Tap.
Like, what is it about it? Like Mario's and that.
And that.
I don't know if there's anything specific about it. It's just like Mario's is definitely one of the most popular, if not the most popular bar in Southside. It's got 3. You could even say maybe 4 different floors in Mario's. We'll just say 3 for now. But I mean,
wow.
Mario's is it's a very fun bar. It's like a modern bar.
That's probably the reason why it's popular. Like clean and modern is very hard to find in
Southside. Yeah, that's a really good point. That's the best way I can put it. It's just there's a lot of space in it. Got a couple different floors. You're not jam packed into one specific place like the Flats is. I don't know if you guys have been to the Flats. I hate the Flats. The Flats is so stupid because everyone goes crazy over it, which like I guess is cool, but there's nothing, in my opinion, there's nothing special about it. You walk in and it's just like a regular little bar, which is fine. Like if you picture a bar in your head, you would think of like, the bar where you get drinks and you got a couple tables and chairs to sit at, and maybe there's like a DJ or whatever. Which on the first floor, that's what they have, but the second floor is sort of like, we'll just say it's like another hangout floor, I guess. But it's just like there's nothing up there. It's just a empty floor, and that's it.
Kind of like the dance club that JJ and I were at, just standing there. I do have to say this: the closed end with bars, which there's still a lot to talk about with bars. We haven't even scratched the surface.
No.
But like during the St. Patrick's Day thing, JJ for some reason kept wanting to go to Jack's bar, and I think that's what it was called, right? Jack's.
Yeah, Katie and I both wanted to go to Jack's bar.
Yeah, but tell me why.
Well, for starters, we wanted to go to Jack's bar, which is right next to Urban Tap, because we wanted to go there. But Chris actually has a good point. This is pretty funny. I had run out to the car to check the meter and put a little bit more money into the meter. And as I was walking back, I was at the crossing the street where Jack's is on one side of the road and Urban Tap's on the other. And these two guys, now this is also St. Patrick's Day night. So I'm waiting to cross. It's probably like 10 o'clock at night. And I hear, and this guy gets like a couple feet away from me and goes, "I'm so fucking drunk. I'm going to Jack's." I was like, I want to go to Jack's. I want to go where that guy's going.
I want to go to Jack's.
Oh my god!
For some reason, I thought you were gonna say I'm going to jail. Like, I thought you were gonna say he was gonna do something that was going to, like, so crazy that was gonna send him to jail. And I was like, this is quite the story right there. I want to see how that one ends.
Well then, look, everyone forget I told that story, because from now on he's going to jail and then he's going to Jack's.
When I get out of jail, I'm going to Jack's.
But that's all the notes I had. Any other closing comments about Southside? I know we haven't talked about like other parts of Southside, like there's Station Square, but that's like further down on Carson Street. That's like way down.
Station Square is like, here's the best. Station Square is Station Square, and then Southside is like the Wish version of Station Square.
That's fair.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
All right, let's put it this way: it's the Walmart version of Station Square.
Station Square has, like, just to really brush up on it, has Hard Rock Cafe, Buca de Pepa, like chain places, but Texas Day Brazil, but it's still a fun place to go to. Like, that's where my school was, Texas Day Brazil. Oh man, is that good stuff?
Almighty, we can do an entire episode on Texas Day Brazil.
Yeah, during the episode, I'll hire someone to come in with a meat stick.
But no, I don't really have any other notes. I think we, like you said, there's so much to go over about Southside, but we touched on the good parts and the good stories. So I'm good.
I'll mention one more thing, and I'm done.
Okay.
Is there anything better than after a night of going out, doing your thing, or even if it's like earlier and you've been like day drinking or hanging out, getting a milkshake from the Milkshake Factory?
Oh, I did not think about that.
Dude, it is perfect every time.
Or a slice of pizza. Like, that drunk pizza hits so nicely. It really does.
Yes, it does.
So JJ's tradition would be, like we said, JJ is in much better shape now. He's a very fit man and is learning about food and calories and all that. Back in the days in college, he took us to Fatheads and then was like we talked about how big the burger was, and he was like, "You guys want a milkshake?"
We were like 2,000 calories.
No! What do you think I am? Like, what's his name? Adam Richmond from Man vs. Food? No, I don't want to do that.
Like, back then I was like a Neanderthal. Like, I would kill a moose and eat that for like a day and then not eat again for like 3 months. I had to like get it when I could. I'd go over to Pitt and go to the buffet. Like, my friend would swipe me in. I would get like 6 grilled cheeses and like everything I could imagine, like just shove and eat until I was like sickeningly full, and then not eat again for like 3 days.
Oh my god. This
Good
is
lord.
wild.
That is
We
wild.
need to have an episode about JJ's college life. Like me, who works for a university now, needs to find a way to hack the system.
Oh man.
Any other closing comments?
Nope,
That's
I'm
it for
good.
me, man. The only other thing I can think about is whenever it was my 21st birthday after we went out drinking, and that was the first time I was ever actually like really, really drunk. And we went to get a piece of pizza from that pizza shop. And all I remember from that night, or I guess from that moment right there, is you, Chris, and Lauren were ordering the pizza for me. And I was just standing there looking out the window, just like focusing on not dying. And I was like, I've never felt this way before. I don't know how to feel. And the pizza guy behind the counter was like, he looked at me, looked back at you guys, looked at me, and then said, "You guys get home safely now, all right?" That was oh, you know what? I gotta ask Lauren if she has the picture. She took a picture of me staring out the window, and I was just like I know the listeners can't see me right now, but I was just staring out the window, eyes extremely wide. And I was just like, I need to focus on not dying right now. That's my closing. That's my closing statement. That's my closing story.
Cool. Well, if you guys hear my dog in the background, I think I have some tending to do. So I'll tell you guys where to find us. You can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast. You follow us at Boys in the Burgh on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And hey, do you want your podcast to sound better and look better? Try using Riverside.fm. It has made the biggest world of a difference with our podcast audio wise, and it's been fantastic to do these remote podcasts and interviews. So click on the link in our show notes and find out why it's so great. So, JJ, go ahead, you sign us off.
Always a pleasure, never business.
Farewell, boys.